This is the Run Ticket Automation presentation for DNO. This is a replay of a presentation that was done on the 10th of May. So we've had discussions ongoing for some time about how ESI and P2 software can help automate the process of managing run tickets for DNO. And so the objectives that we have discussed are automating the process by bringing data directly from Weighbridge into a system, eliminating the need to save spreadsheets and having a hierarchy of spreadsheets stored on a network drive by having a database to store all the run ticket information, and then allowing capability for users to view and query run ticket data as they require. So we also talked about being able to create run ticket images so that there's no need to print and file an image of the run ticket that's printed in the terminal, so to try and save the time from the operators, and then streamlining the process for operations staff. So this is all about trying to make the process more automated and more efficient. So we'll talk about the main components of the solution. There's really three components that make this up. The first is automating the collection of data from the ERTE system or Weighbridge and bringing that directly into Enterprise Upstream. So we've proposed a gateway using Microsoft Excel to automate pulling the data from the terminal and posting it into Oracle. There may be some manual data that needs to be captured along the way. Now that can be captured either after we put it in Oracle or in the spreadsheet before we upload it to Oracle. So in our prototype, we're capturing that data prior to loading it to Oracle. So once we've got the data, then we load it into the P2 Enterprise Upstream database, and we have then the ability to go in and manage those run tickets, including making changes if you require to going back and making changes to data, and there's a complete historical record maintained of whatever changes are made. And then the final component then is being able to report on those run tickets and be able to extract information from the system that may go to other departments. So you may require to extract at the end of the month or periodically a list of truck tickets by transporter or by purchaser so that you can send that to accounting. And at the same time then generating and allowing the ability to see an image of the run ticket. So what we'll do now is we'll just go and we'll show you the components of that solution. And this first spreadsheet is not part of the solution. We show it just because what we're trying to do is show that we have the integration to the truck scale software. So we can click on the button and bring up the ERT, and it'll tell us we have 172 truck tickets in the database. Okay, so the purpose is we're creating some test data and we're putting it into that system, and then so I've created these truck tickets, I put them in the system, and I'll just show the ticket report just so that you see that again those numbers, there's now 179 tickets. Okay, so we went from 172 to 179. And those new tickets are these ones right here. And so the process would be that the operator in the terminal is printing tickets during the day as he goes through the day. And we can automate the process. If he has a real-time connection to the network, then we can create those directly and bring them into the P2 database, or we can do it on a end of the day basis and just automate picking up those tickets. Now, if there is no connectivity, then of course we need the operator to send the file to somebody who has that connectivity so that we can extract the ticket information. So when I click the print ticket button here, what I'm simulating is just the process of pulling that data from the truck ticket system into an Excel spreadsheet, and then preparing that data for insertion into the P2 database, which is an Oracle database. And so what this is doing is actually just creating the upload. The format of the spreadsheet can be tailored to suit your needs. We created it this way just because so that we can load the data simply and easily, but we can do all kinds of manipulations to this database or to this spreadsheet. So what we do show though is that this spreadsheet has connectivity to the database, and so if you wish to work on it separate from before you upload the data into the system, then you can click on the spreadsheet and connect to the application. So you would sign in really once a day would be what you'd have to sign in. So I'll just sign into the system. Okay, and now I have a list of values that I can pick from. So anything that has direct connectivity to the system, then we would be able to do that. So if I wanted to pick a different value here, I'm already signed in, I just pick it and go. Or I can just copy it. I can just select this value and copy it down. Okay, so if I go ahead now and I think, okay, I'm done, maybe I needed to update BS&W or maybe some other things, but so BS&W is listed in here if we wanted to change the BS&W, if we wanted to correct the scale weights and have it recalculate, we can do that sort of thing. So once I'm ready, then I go ahead and I just submit this and upload it to the database. Okay, so now what it will do is validate that everything is valid before it goes ahead and submits it. Sorry, I clicked close, I meant to click upload. So now it's uploading. Okay, so we had a bunch of errors, 9 rows were invalid. And you can see they're flagged, these things are flagged in red as being invalid. Okay, so a unique constraint. We're trying to add a duplicate record for the same date and time and ticket number. And so we knew that was going to happen because we've already added these tickets. However, that's the intent, is that we can show the validations that happen before you go into the system, so you know you're uploading good data. Now I can correct this data if I were to change the ticket number and and change the date and time, and then I could go ahead and upload that. But I wanted to show that this is how it gets uploaded. This process can be fully automated. So if we choose, we can load the data into the system and then have the validations performed in the system as opposed to doing it in the spreadsheet. Okay. So now we have data in the system. We've already uploaded our data. So we go into the application, and this is Enterprise Upstream, the Oracle-based application. So what I've set up here is a number of facilities. So I've got Fish Kabur as one, I've got Takwe Central Processing Facility as one, and I've got the refinery as another. So, and within equipment, we've configured each of your different kinds of dispositions, I'll call them, that you have at that place. So here you've got crude local sale, and you've got herbal crude coming in at the refinery. We've got diesel, fuel oil, naphtha. So we can look at, here's the run tickets that have been loaded, and we've essentially taken your tickets. We had a month's worth of data, and we've extrapolated that and we've created a lot of data, but a lot of it is just repetitive. So we've taken the same data and created it over and over again. Okay, so if we want to edit a ticket, for example, I've got this one on the 30th of December, I can just double click it. and bring up the form that will allow me to make changes to that ticket. And you can see the data that we've captured, the gravity, temperature. You may not have all of this data, but it's all available in the system. As well, we've configured additional columns for data that we'll capture from your spreadsheet. So the license plate number, the driver name, etc. So all of this information is captured. We know the date and time of the ticket. If we have a BS&W, then we would have, so if we could put a BS&W in there, and when we save that record, then it'll calculate a revised volume. Okay, so we need to complete some more data to do that, but it would take this volume and calculate a water volume as well. We can query on any of those tickets. If I want to find the ticket from the 9th of December, then I can just query, bring back tickets. We've got a lot of duplicate ticket numbers here because, again, we just took your data and inserted it for different days and times. But if I want to get all the tickets that are number 4118, then I can query 4118 and I'll get all those tickets. Okay. So that was the intent, was just to take the data, put it in a database. Now you have a database that has all of your ticket information. You don't need to go back and look through spreadsheets to find the data. And if you needed to reconcile at the end of the month and you need to make changes, you can go directly into this database and correct those values. And as well, so we've got the same thing for the diesel, the fuel oil, and we've got a number of tickets in there. So it's essentially the same tool to manage all of this data. This set of facilities would be the facilities that you have. We've got a few other things in our system here, but you would just see your set of data and the actual data that's applicable. We won't expect that you would manage a lot of, do a lot of work in the system because most of your data is going to come directly from the weigh scale, directly get loaded into the system. And it's only if you have issues that you would have to go into the system and maintain them or change them, or if you had some sort of disaster and your system went down and you didn't have records, then you could go in here and manually create those records. So you've always got a way to get your tickets into the system. Okay, so then the last piece of the component then is to do your reporting. And so I've just created a link here to bring up the report. This is web reporting, so no need to sign into the system to be able to produce reports if you, as long as you're on the network and can get access to the database. So we've structured this just for convenience, but these reports can be configured exactly to your requirements. So what we're showing here is by month. Here's the number of tankers, the net volume, the net weight. And I can drill down and look at this. Okay, I want to see it by day. Okay, so here's all my tickets. And any of these columns I can sort. You can see I've got duplicate ticket numbers. I can sort by load start, load end, by transporter, or by plate number. So we can sort by any of those columns that are in the database. And we can add more columns, we can change the columns, so we have a lot of flexibility in how we can manage this. This is really just a big dump of your data. As well, so we've included a link here to a ticket image. And this is just that, it's a link to a ticket image. However, it's an idea of what you can do. So what we're talking about doing is actually generating this image on the fly based on the data that's in the system. Then we can generate something that looks like a ticket. So it won't look exactly like this, but it'll look like a ticket to your specifications. And then you would be able to essentially replicate that ticket and not have to scan it and store it. There's any of these things can go to Excel. So if you wanted to take this to Excel, you click the link and it'll open it up and take it to Excel. Okay, so that's That's all automatic. If I close this, I'll go back here. I've got fuel oil on a separate tab. I've got transporter summary, so if I want to see those numbers by transporter, here's the number of tankers, the weight volume by transporter, here's my contract volumes, expiry dates, and then the same details on tickets by transporter. So we can structure this the way that you need to structure it. As well, we can produce some graphics on this. So this is a by day, here's how many tankers I had, and here's my net volume. So all very configurable once we finalize on a specification. Okay, so that was really the net of the presentation. So we had agreed to talk a little bit about what the next steps are, and so we believe that if you make a decision to move forward with this software, then really the first thing we do is spend some time taking this prototype that we built, and we conduct a solution design workshop that allows us to go through and in detail specify what it is we're going to do. So, what columns do we need on the report, and what reports do we want, and what graphs do we want, and what is the workflow that we're going to use? Are we going to have the operator send or bring the file in every day, send it in, or are we going to connect to it real time and fully automate the process? So we need to work through what does that final design look like, and then we will take the solution that we have and we'll tweak it to those exact specifications that we've discussed. Once we've completed the build, then we believe it's appropriate that we spend time together so that we can train you, and then you can hands-on test the system. So this is a break test where you use it, you put your business scenarios in it, you try to make it fail to a large degree so that we can resolve any issues that we have. And then there may be some minor design issues that come out of that as well that we have to tweak. And then we can make the final updates and deploy the solution. So that's the summary and the replay of our session from May the 10th, kind of in fast action. Thank you.